Hey everyone, this is Shush and Peter P in the house. So we just got back from United. We'll get started in about 1 minute. Let me just say a few shout outs. If you haven't already put in where you're tuning in from in the chat box, make sure you do. We got Mindigus, so I know Mindigus is from Northampton in the UK. Welcome. Gary Bateson from Dublin. How are you doing? Then we got, who else? Victor Zeng from Singapore. Yeah, so great to see you on there. Victor. Oh, Bug's Life.
Bug's Life.
Okay,
Yeah.
So we'll just give it another minute or so while we, this is going to be recorded anyway. Some people wouldn't have got the update on the time, but it's okay. We'll get started in a minute because there's a lot of updates to go through, a lot of great stuff happening. John Majaka is in the house. From down
Hey, John.
Down in the...
Bring it forward a little bit so we're not quite looking at the ceiling. There we go.
That's cool.
Shush's foundation shirt.
So don't be shy to say hello and where you tuning from. Netherlands is in the house. Vikas Chingra.
There's one bug in my
Cage.
Outside by my pool, and Shush has got the bug.
It finds me.
Bugs find Shush.
Yeah, it's like I got bitten by a mosquito in Barcelona. It probably was the only mosquito in Barcelona.
First thing he does when he gets here, he says, "Have you got any mosquito spray?"
Blood type O, mate. That's what happens.
Sad.
Okay, anyway, guys, so let's get. I'll tell you what. Let's get started. We're recording anyway, so we can get the recording out to everyone, and make sure, obviously, when you get the recording, make sure you also push it out to your team members because there's some very, very significant updates. So first of all, it was an amazing event. So Peter and myself, we actually attended the IAC PAC meeting on Friday. So we got some, great updates from obviously the executives that day. And there's been major progress, guys. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you will already see, but there's some significant things that are coming, like not just in the next few days and the next couple of weeks, but there's like a timeline of things which will help you basically in building your business. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put my slides on. So just bear with me. Okay. So if someone could just type in whether you can see the slides okay. Can you see the slides? Let me know if you see the slides. Just type in yes, yes. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to go through these slides. So obviously, this is a picture from the event. I captured some evidence that Peter's there.
I was actually in the room.
Peter was actually there. So, a lot of people say, oh, Peter never goes to the events. He was there, and he actually stayed the second day for 4 hours. It's like a world record, which is fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, actually, the venue was great, right, Peter?
Yeah.
Nice, circular, venue with the stage in the middle. It was brilliant. So, very nice. Okay. So one of the things that obviously has been happening that many of you may not be aware of is that there's been some significant introductions into the leadership team, should I say, not executive team, the leadership team. I mean, how important is that, Peter? I mean, if you just want to sort of share, I know that we met all these people. Yeah.
It's more than important. It's actually critical. We because of the company being at the age it is and the stage it's at. We've seen some good people in the past. We've seen some corporate officers and individual leadership within the company on the executive side that's been was appropriate at the time, and I don't wish to be in any way disparaging to people and their abilities, but we have moved on. The company, in order to become a $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 billion company, needs $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 billion quality executives, and we now have attracted some of the most significant executives in their field to the company. People from other major network marketing companies have now joined us. They wouldn't have joined WorldVentures 5-6 years ago because it wasn't a machine that they would have wanted to be party to experiencing, or in fact could not even have afforded them. So where we are now is we have attracted some of the best of the best. One or two of these individuals I already knew, but particularly important is they come and they've made change. I mean, we can see the changes. The effect is, it's all very well you've got a CV, it's all very well that you come along with this ability, but one of the biggest anomalies in humanity is potential. People have got potential. Yeah, potential is nothing unless you use it. Well, these people have certainly brought to the table what we needed. And we're now seeing, for instance, in customer service with Casey Fellows, customer service now, telephone response times, the quality of the response, etc., absolutely gone stratospheric compared to what it was a few months ago. So we've got a new CFO, Chris Gopakrishna, who comes with immense financial experience and just is a financial guy. He's got that focus constantly, daily, on where the money is, where the money needs to be. So overall, we've seen some changes and some people come aboard, all of which are new, all of which are world class, and I'm very pleased with what I'm seeing, Shush.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, like, if you take Casey for example, I mean, like, she shared with us that literally within weeks of joining us. And she comes from Disney, right? So like her background is working with Disney. The wait times, for example, were like up to like 90 minutes in the US. Obviously, when we had our massive growth, so like, when you pull in a couple 100,000 people literally in a few months, new members, then you're going to have some pain there, right? So obviously this is where, like, we were just overwhelmed in a big way. And she's got that now down to like literally minutes. So, so that's been a significant improvement. So one of the things that actually, so if you take Chris, the CFO, he is all about, I mean, he actually shared, he's all about taking the money, and paying the money. Take the money, paying the money, right? Okay. So making sure that we've got the systems in place where we are, first of all, able to take money. So we've had issues in the past, like in certain countries, like for example, Germany, Holland, they don't have visas and MasterCards. There's so many markets. So they are working diligently to fix that, okay? So looking like SEPA and, other things like in different markets. I know like Brazil will open 7th of September, which is Brazilian Independence Day. So we'll have like Valletta in place for that, right? Who else? Obviously, Russ Wood we met, who is taking care of Asia, doing great things.
Yeah, Russ brings huge experience, and he's already, the Asians love him.
Yeah. And we spent time with him. He's a very, very sharp guy. Stephen, who is heading up the VP of sales for Europe.
Herbalife,
12 years experience in Herbalife. Paul Jenkins, the CTO. So one of the things you'll see, a lot of tech updates as well. I'm going to share some of them with you. I didn't have the slides for this, but one of the things they're changing, which should be within the next 2 weeks, is the actual sign-up process. So it's going to be a lot more clean and simple, right? So when someone actually goes to sign up, they're not asking for your shoe size, the size of your rash, and all, like, everything. It's just going to be like really, really simplified, and the flow is going to be simplified as well. So yeah, this was what I was talking about. Take the money, pay the money. So this is what's coming. It's not there yet, and like, obviously don't wait for it, because obviously we're in a great place. But this is what you can expect in time, which will be local currency, local payment methods, recurring payment capabilities, like within local currencies. So all this is coming, guys. Okay, so this is probably one of the most important things. That what's going to start happening is that you're going to start seeing literally over the next few days and weeks in-app notifications. Okay, so it's so important, guys. When you sign someone up, or if you got people on your team, you have to make sure that they download the DreamTrips app, okay, and make sure that the notifications are turned on. The reason for that is this. Okay, now they will get an alert on the phone, right, which will say there's a problem with your membership payment method, right? So, you know, so many times people actually go in grace or inactive and they don't know, right? And obviously, often emails just is noise. Like you get less than 20% open rate on emails, whereas with text and alerts on your phone, it's more than 90%.
Well, this got one of the biggest cheers of the whole event, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Crowd went nuts.
Yeah. Because as leaders, I mean, like, you know what, we don't know when people...
Well, we don't need to be thinking about that stuff.
Exactly. And you
it's
don't
not
need
something
to be...
we should be doing.
Yeah, exactly. So this is huge. So you got to make sure when you sign someone up, the first thing they do is download the DreamTrips app, and they obviously put in their ID and a password to activate the app. So this is really, really important. So another thing that they're going to do, and this is like, man, this is amazing as well, right? So they're going to be introducing deals around the world. So, for example, they just launched the $69 cruise back in the US, and obviously everyone from the US went crazy in the audience, right? But there's going to be like almost like we call them like lost leader deals. So the company like probably even takes a loss on these deals, but they have a budget for it, and they're just what they call wow deals to like just wow the members, right? And obviously it's stickability. I mean, it's obviously maybe someone can't do that deal this time, but they see these amazing deals popping up as a notifications, and you'll get a notification like this, and it could be like somewhere in Europe or Asia or Africa or Australia. I mean, there'll be different deals for different regions. So this is, again, great. So like, you know, we're really sort of growing up to be like a world leader travel company. But you see, one of the things that, you know, we've been talking about as, you know, in the IAC meetings over the past couple of years is that many times there are amazing deals on the DreamTrips platform, but guess what? People don't know about them, right? So the communication, so this Sophie, who was on the previous page, but who's VP of communication, I mean, she's, again, like doing great things. So now we're going to be hitting people with the notifications. Emails will also go out, and notifications on the DreamTrips page, yeah? So the thing is, the company will get a lot better. So 3 emails will now go out every week with hot deals, right? So this is something that, like, the company has really listened to us in terms of like making sure that we let our members know what the great deals are. Okay, so another massive. I mean, this is huge. I mean, like, so excited about this one. Now, someone who is just a member can easily upgrade to being a rep as well. Okay, right? Online without contacting customer support.
It's only taken 10 years.
So this is huge because, see, what was happening before? This is what was happening before. Either people joined just as a customer and then obviously they wanted to be a rep, or accidentally someone has signed up just customer only and they forgot to check the, you know, RBS box, right? And it caused a nightmare because what you would have to do is you'd have to get the new member to download the rep form, okay, fill in the rep form, either take a picture or fax it and then upload it. And it was just laborious. I mean, it was hard work. So now you don't have to worry about that. Now you can literally just go onto your DreamTrips site and you can say, you know, where it says become an independent rep, click on generate referral link, and you can add RBS to your membership account. So that is fantastic news. I have to say, this is big time, right? So obviously, I mean, like, as a company, the focus, I mean, like, we actually had dinner with Jim Menge on Friday evening with his wife. And, you know, like, Jim was sharing with us, like, that, man, I mean, like, they've made such massive progress with the product, you know. And again, when you look at, like, oh yeah, so one of the things is obviously they've looked at pricing as well, right? So we're saying that some of the pricing on certain platforms wasn't so great. So they really sort of focused on making sure that the DreamTrips pricing is better than hotel-only pricing. But then obviously you've got the DreamTrips experience, you know, the host, the welcome party, the excursions, the meal plans, etc. Right? And this was very interesting. I mean, this was like back in 2006, Dave Ulloa actually shared that they had 15 trips in 2006. So that was obviously their second year in business, in 8 countries. Now today we have trips in 80 plus countries, and like I'm not going to sort of go through everything, but they've like they're updating all the platforms. So for example, there's now a new cruise landing platform. It's amazing, right? So they're going to sort of like really like 5x the number of cruises because it's so popular, right? So, and then again, this is what I was saying about the travel deals emails going out 3 times a week. There's some significantly amazing trips. I know Peter actually got quite excited about this trip.
This is quite extraordinary, actually.
Yeah. So, you know, there's many new trips and like really great deals as well coming. So this is not just on DreamTrips, on the Anytime Escapes. I mean, look, $59 per night, right? Dominican Republic. This is all inclusive. Man, I mean, can you imagine? $59 all inclusive. And I'm telling you, these resorts in the Caribbean, normally you'll pay $200, $300 per person per night for all inclusive, right? The reward side. So again, there was some feedback after they launched the rewards platform that within a few weeks, the pricing wasn't competitive. And there was some kind of issue. We reported it in Barcelona, and actually Jim said it, you know, he didn't even know about it. So again, they fixed that now. Plus, Platinum members can use more than 25% more credits, okay, on the rewards platform as well. So, I mean, again, if you see anything which is not quite right, or now on the new DreamTrips side, at the top of the page, so you'll see that they've launched the new DreamTrips site, which looks spectacular. But one of the things they've done is they've added a feedback button at the top. So if you see anything wrong, if there's any issues, there's any errors or pricing problems, anything, you can click the feedback button now, and it go to Jim Menges' team. So this has just been added. They made the navigation of the site a lot cleaner, a lot simpler. So where you see the DreamTrips boxes, you know, where underneath where it says DreamTrips Africa, for example, on this picture, the actual DreamTrips boxes, they're called cards. So again, they made it much cleaner, simple to read, that kind of thing. Okay, so you see new clean design, added links to DreamTrips rewards, local membership benefits, and featured trips by regions as well. So this is really cool. So when you go on that first page, as you scroll down, it will actually list the highlight trips, okay, by region. So again, very simple to navigate. Okay. So again, I mean, like, you would have seen already some significant updates, but one of the things that just to show you the roadmap, and guys, don't wait for this. These are just improvements. So in July, they are rebuilding the OTA, right? So one of the things that like Josh and Jim shared with us was the fact that once this is built, there will be no reason for people to ever go to Expedia, Booking.com, Hotel.com, or any other OTA. Ours will be like, you know, we have to admit that in the past, it hasn't been competitive or like as good as some of the world-class OTAs. They're going to fix that. Okay, so you know, and it's very soon. It's going to be coming. But again, don't wait for it. Air and Anytime Escape being rebuilt in July as well, right? Okay, DreamTrips private trips rebuilt in early 2020. So the thing is, guys, you know, don't use it as an excuse that, I want to wait for everything to be perfect, because it's, you know, obviously we're evolving to be really like the #1 travel company in the world. Yeah, I mean, I'm not just talking like within network marketing, but in the world. So just this is just to sort of give you an idea. I mean, this was shared from stage, so that's the reason why I'm sharing with you. I mean, so many things. One of the things they will also do is event deal pages as well. So in the future, when we will have events, that there'll be a page where you'll have DreamTrips local stuff, the DreamTrips for pre-event, all that kind of stuff. That's coming as well, right? And again, this is a US number, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, like anyone can use this. But let's say, for example, you want to customize a trip. You can actually call them. So like, obviously, there may not be a dream trip that like fits in with a particular dates, etc. I mean, I'll give you an example of this. Within the next year or so, I'm going to put together a trip for my mum and dad and my sister, some of my family, where we're going to go to Canada. So this has always been my dad's dream to go on the train across the Rockies. And then we want to go visit his friend in Toronto. And then, like, you know, this kind of stuff. We want to go and see the falls as well. So, you know, that's a custom trip, right? So you can actually call them up, tell them what your requirements are, and they will construct the trip for you. So we never had that before. You know, a lot of the top travel, I mean, Peter, that's the kind of thing you would do, wouldn't you? Like,
well, yeah. I mean, my preference is always going to be to create something. I've just done one for New Zealand next Christmas, because it's I want to be in New Zealand for my wedding anniversary, and that isn't something which was available through WorldVentures, but in the future it will be, and meaning quite an exclusive, very, very focused trip on specifics, which you know, it wasn't there off the shelf, but this is the future.
Yeah, it's amazing. But this is what the top travel companies do. So, you know, again, I mean, when you look at see the slide at the top is like back in the day, right? Okay, so we were back in the day, you know, enrolled 30,000 customers, which is 2005, $15 million revenue, right? Okay, guys, in the last 3 years, we've had more than 1 million travelers. Okay, people do travel with us in the past 3 years, which is significant, right? Okay. Back in 2006, 24 trips a year, right? They said at least 24 trips a year per year, right? And 2019 we'll have over 4,000 trips, right? That's huge progress. So let's talk a little bit about the business as well. So just within within the past year, we've had 2,009 more residual income earners, right? That is significant, right? So here, I don't know if you can quite see the numbers, but this shows the number of ranks compared to last year in 2019. So in 2019, we had 800 new directors compared to 196 in 2018. 69 marketing directors in 2018, 170.
This is so far. We're only in April.
Yeah.
This is the first quarter of 2019 versus the whole of 2018.
Precisely. Yeah. I mean, is, so like, look at the IMD numbers.
4 IMDs in the first 3 months of this year, and none last year.
Yeah. No, that's triple IMDs.
Triple IMDs.
4 new triple IMDs. Can't quite
see it. 27 new IMDs.
Against none last year.
Can't hardly see it bending around the corner there. It was a circular screen. 1
double IMD compared to none last year. 27 IMDs, new IMDs in 2019 up to April compared to none last year, right? 28 NMD. I mean, guys, if you are worried that this ain't working or there's any problems, you are very wrong, right? Okay. We had problems in the past, yes, but I'm telling you, they're all gone. They're in the past. So, man, and there's some people working, right? Okay. So again, let's talk about what's happening. So again, I mean, like when you look at the expansion that we've done in the past year, right? Compared to the past years, you know, we opened up France, Czech Republic, Mexico, Zambia, Namibia was it, and then there's another one as well, significant one. Okay, but anyway, about 6 new markets opened in the last year, right? But guys, this is, I mean, it's going to continue. So this lady, Mary Colvert, who is like head of international expansion, working with Greg and the team, Josh, and she's doing amazing things. So not only have we opened these, Philippines was the other significant market that opened recently, yeah. But this is what's happening this year. Brazil, Spain. So Brazil will open on Brazilian Independence Day, which is the 7th of September, okay? And then Spain will open this year, and New Caledonia is opening. I mean, like New Caledonia, they are crushing it. 4 new IMDs from there in the last year. So this was what I was saying. How do you say that?
7 de September.
Okay. I can't say that because he speaks Spanish. Okay. But also in development are multiple other markets. So Norway, Portugal, Ghana, Italy, Thailand, Rwanda, Kazakhstan, South Korea, Japan, and Indonesia. So these are all in progress. So sometime probably in the next 24 months, I'd say by the end of 2020, you'd expect to see these markets also come live. Right. So as we finish this, I mean, they are the most of the updates. And before I talk about this, I'm going to actually ask Peter to share a little bit about, I mean, like what Byron Schrag sort of was the last trainer yesterday, and he sort of shared a little bit about the history of the industry and about, you know, like some of the companies like Amway, I think it was 76, got hit by a massive lawsuit, almost put them out of business. Mm-hmm. Now the number 1 company in the world doing close to 10 billion a year. Herbalife got absolutely like annihilated. People try to bring them down. Still the running giant within nutrition, still the biggest nutritional company in the world. We've just gone through a big storm, you know, within the last 18 months where, you know, like we had some issues and people attacked us, etc. And we've come out of that, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. So just talk a little bit about that next run, you know, like that legacy run. I mean, Byron called it the legacy run. You would have seen that with several companies in your 40-year career, witnessed it, whether you were part of that company or not. Because obviously Peter's been with 5 different companies that have gone through $1 billion. So I know Nu Skin was one of them. That was a legacy run, right? Mm-hmm. So just share with people, I mean, like the significance of where we're at.
Yeah, well, it's almost as if it's inevitable that every legacy network marketing company has to go through this.
So before you continue, tell people what a legacy company is. Yeah.
Well, these are the companies that are it's a bit like the Premier League. You know, you've got these players, shall we call them, who are so strong, they're so established, they're so good at what they do, and they're so uniquely based in their product culture and their product discipline that they are unassailable. It's very, very unlikely that anybody's going to take away their market. Outside of us, outside of world network marketing, you say something like Coca-Cola. It's almost unthinkable that Coca-Cola could disappear because that product is part of the language of the English language, probably any other language as well. You look at Herbalife. Herbalife is a great company. They are the market leaders in nutritional supplementation in network marketing, and Herbalife pretty much set the scene for that product approach. I've had some enormous challenges, enormous conflicts with legislators and so on and so forth, but they're still around, they're still growing. In fact, probably growing now faster than they've ever grown. If you look at Amway, I was with Amway for 10 years. People laugh at Amway. They go, oh, Amway, you know, it's had its day. Amway is, I think last year did 11.5 billion. That's not funny. That's a real business, okay? And I think, I don't know the numbers because I don't sit on the DSA boards anymore, although I couldn't find out. But they probably got 14 or 15 million reps around the world, million reps around the world. So a company that people laugh at is a legacy company because it's paid the price, it's done the deal, and its reps will just never leave. It's kind of become their lives. They are part of it. And we are a legacy company for the simple reason that despite the challenges we had last year, and, I don't want to go on about the challenges because at the end of the day, they're gone. The challenges we had were part and parcel of a company growing so fast, which is what happened to WorldVentures, that classically what happens in network marketing is that growth is never seen by any other kind of conventional business. And when it happens, it causes all kinds of problems. And the problems it causes is the sheer growth of numbers and the sheer growth in volume is very difficult to handle. It's very difficult to manage. And it's very difficult to fund, to actually have the right financial structure and the right customer service, products and everything else. And so network marketing has become a victim of their own success. And the initial management, the initial infrastructure can't take it, and it breaks. And that infrastructure, it snaps, it bends, and it needs to be reinforced. And it's now being reinforced. Now, if underneath that infrastructure was a non-existent product, a product that was not credible, if the compensation plan was weak, if it was compensation plan was fracturing or fractured, but nobody had found out yet, and if the management team couldn't handle it, then the whole thing would just slip away. And you'd find that you'd have a company that's been around for 2 or 3, 4, 5 years, it's gone. And there's many of those. And some of you on this call will know, you've heard of them, the companies that have been and gone, who at one point for a couple of years looked like they were the giants or going to become the next giants. The reason I joined WorldVentures 10 years ago now, 10 years ago this month, well, as a consultant 10 years ago this month, but as a rep 9 years ago, was because I could see, because of my experience, that if they got this right, if WorldVentures got this right, and I've said this many times, this was the next legacy company. In fact, it's more than that. This is not just the next legacy company. I believe this is the legacy of network marketing. I actually believe that this company will become the market leader in all of network marketing, anywhere, in any product discipline on the globe. The reason is because travel is just so super sexy. I mean, travel is everything, everywhere. Everybody travels. Most people do anyway. 90% of the population wants to travel, but 90% of the population don't want nutritional supplements or exercise equipment or some juice that will change your life. Everybody wants travel. 90% of people do. And 90% of the global population is a huge number of people. Let's say it's 6.5 billion people. So we haven't even scratched the scratch. So where we've come through as a legacy, or where we are as a legacy company, we already were a legacy company. That was written on the wall. I could see that. I could see that 10 years ago. And that's why I started with WorldVentures, because I told Mary, my wife Mary, that this is just too big to ignore. So got back into the saddle and started doing it again. And thank goodness I did. Where we are today is we are a new company. So we have become, in the last 12 months, something very new. What was before is gone, and is history and is irrelevant. Where we are tomorrow and next week and next year is totally perspective of where we should be. And the reason I am so involved in the major events. I mean, I went to the obviously IAC PAC team meetings. We went to an IMD meeting afterwards as well to discuss some other issues with the IMDs. And obviously, because I have direct access to the management team on a daily basis if I want it, I can tell you now that what's in place is strategically critical for this company to become the company I just described, a legacy within network marketing. So mark my words here, I'm putting reputation on the line and saying, as I did 10 years ago, watch this space. And this has only just started, guys. It's still tiny compared to what it will be. What I just said about Amway with 14 million people. We're nowhere near that. We're not even close. We haven't even got 1 million reps in the business yet. So this business can be 14, 15, 20, 25, 55 times bigger than it is now, which includes you. And as that growth comes, it takes people with it. That growth has to take people to the top. It has to, because it has to go somewhere. A sheer volume of business has to be distributed amongst the people creating it, which is all of us and all of you.
Yeah.
So, Shush, we're a new company, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got to remember this, right? Amway is a company which is nigh on what, 60 years?
Yeah, 1959.
Yeah. So 41, 60 years old.
60 years old this year.
Yeah. And then you take Avon, it's a 130-year-old company, right? Herbalife, 50 odd years, right? And let me tell you, Herbalife, despite the, I mean, they got attacked massively over the last few years. For a second time, someone in Wall Street tried to bring them down. And guess what? Last year, 900,000 people joined Herbalife, right? Okay, it might not be in the Western countries. It's more in the third world countries, but still, that is significant, okay? So we literally, I mean, like, have another 100 countries to open, right? I mean, and as Peter said, the world loves to travel. So you haven't even seen anything yet. And with the progress they'll make with the product over the next year or so, right, when they know that, I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a wave which is going to be massive. But obviously, all this said, at the end of the day, if you don't participate, if you don't take action, it sort of means nothing. So then you will just be a spectator, right? Okay. So one of the things that, well, the Byron yesterday shared something with us, really like as the call to action. And I thought it was absolutely spot on, right? And that was that, so he's been trialing this with several people in his team over the last few months. So he created this concept, which is win the day, right? Win the day. So it's like what you do on a daily basis, right? Okay. And so the first thing is that the overwhelming message from all the trainers, every single trainer, was that if you don't have this right, your mindset, you'll do nothing, right? Okay. So you got to fix yourself from inside out. And actually, you know, this is, you know, Peter, as my mentor, taught me this many, many years ago, that you got to work on yourself. You got to work on your mindset, read the books, all this kind of stuff, right? So these are the 5 things that you do on a daily basis that actually Byron shared. So the first thing is affirmations, right? Okay. Have cards, right? Affirmation cards. I am an IMD. I am making $50,000 a month. I mean, whatever your number is that you want, you know, I am a, you know, like whatever. I mean, like whatever you want to achieve, right? Whatever the end goal is, write it down as present tense, right? Okay. And you look at these cards, the affirmation cards, read them every day, okay? So this is, you're planting the seed in your mind, okay? The second thing is you got to read every day, a minimum of 15 minutes. Some people say to me, I don't like to read, right? Look, here's the bottom line. Nowadays, it's, you know, technology makes it so much easier for you to read, okay? You got books on you. If I'm reading Tony Robbins at the moment, right? Okay. And if you really can't even read from your phone, get audio books, okay? So, or watch videos on YouTube, right? Which are free. It's like, I call it the YouTube University. But this is so important. And then also audios from Advantage, where you're listening to audios from the trainers, from the major events. Again, there you are brushing up on your skills, okay, for the business. You know, if you want to learn how to close, there are training audios from Stavros and Eric Grzybowski, which are absolutely amazing. And you should be listening to them on repeat, okay? So you're learning it by rote. Then when the time comes, when you're in front of someone, you'll remember, and it will just come out naturally. But the thing is, if you don't train your brain, okay, on a daily basis, then like nothing's going to change, right? Number 4 is touch 5 people, like in terms of reach out to 5 people on a daily basis, right? And that could be that you are following up with someone. Oh, you know, did you watch the video? And I'm going to give you an example, okay? We have an appointment. We got a prospect coming here to Peter's house in probably about 2 hours, right? And let me tell you sort of how it worked, right? We went to go and buy a new laptop. Well, I needed to buy a new laptop. This was on Tuesday last week. So we went to Best Buy, okay, which is like, will be like Dixon's or PC World back in the UK. It's like a computer electronics superstore. And we went in, I'm looking around the MacBooks and whatever, found the one I wanted, I saw the description, and we had to like wait because we had to ask a couple of times for someone to come and help us. And then this guy, very smiley guy, looked very sharp, came over and said, how can I help? And I just said, look, I'd like to buy this laptop, and I showed him. And he said, yeah, if you come to the computer, I'll just check the stock availability or whatever. And then, as I went to the computer, whatever, he said, hey, what do you do? What do you guys do? And I just said, we do network marketing. Have you ever heard of it? Right? And he said, yeah, for sure. I said, oh, have you done it before? Yeah, I did a couple of things. Herbalife was one of them, blah, blah, blah. I said, but you're not doing it now? No. So are you open to, looking at what we do, which is we're the #1 travel company in the world in network marketing, actually probably the only one, which is successful. And he said, yeah, for sure. And that's how easily I prospected the guy. And what I did is actually there and then added him on WhatsApp, or took his contact, sent him a link on WhatsApp in front of me, okay? And then I just said, look, once you've had a look, there's a couple of videos to look at, just let me know and tell me, whether you're interested in them. I introduced him to Peter, and we spoke a little bit. Peter said to him, hey, look, if you like what you see, why don't you come over to my house when we get back from the event, and we'll talk further. So I mean, like, do you think that guy's not going to join after coming here, right? Okay, so this is like doing a present, like touching people. So like, what I did is I followed up over the weekend. He messaged me, I saw the videos, and then so I sent him a video from the auditorium, from the event venue. On Saturday, I recorded a video. Hey, Michael, blah, 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 blah. Let me know about Tuesday. Bang. So he saw the event venue. That's a follow-up, okay? So whether you're following up people, whether you are promoting an event or whatever, that's what Touch 5, reach out to 5 people a day, right? Okay, not necessarily presentation. This is like literally reaching out people, okay? Invitations, follow-up, blah, blah, blah. And then number 5 is doing at least one presentation a day. So that could be that you're doing a presentation on Zoom live. If you do PowerPoint, fine. Me personally, I use videos, or actually saying to someone, okay, what time are you free to jump on a call? And then I'm going to give them the link, and then I'm going to speak to them after they've watched the video, okay? Or invite them to a travel party, or online travel party, webinar, whatever. I mean, that doesn't matter. I mean, all things work. You don't have to change. If you're getting results, don't change what you're doing, okay? But this is the daily, action. And again, the second, one of the most significant messages that came out from all the trainers, it's all about consistency. You see, you got to do a run. Matt talked about this, a 90-day run where you literally are working every day. If you're part-time, you should be putting 5 hours a day. So if you really want to change your life, totally. I did a 6-month run. When I saw Peter speak in 2004, he said, go show 500 people in 6 months. I did a 6-month run. That 6-month run, I've never worked harder than that ever again in my life, but it changed my life, right? So whether it's a 90-day run or whatever your run is, I mean, just do it. I mean, I think one of the IMDs shared that, I think it was Efrosini, said she did an 18-month run, right? Okay.
It was.
So whatever your run is, you got to decide. But the thing is, that run means that you got to do this every day, consistently, right? And I remember Stavros saying from stage as well in his training that he did not go to sleep until he did at least one presentation a day, right? At least one presentation. So he would not go to sleep. He would not come home until he did one presentation. I mean, that's commitment. You got to put in that commitment. So anyway, so that's pretty much it, guys. So the thing is, man, we are in good shape. We are poised. As Peter said, I mean, we are the running giant. We are the running giant in travel, right? There is no other travel company, okay, that's in the top 100. We don't even know who the second best. There are some copycats coming along, but they're so far behind. You know, they don't have what we have, the product that we have. They're unlikely to have. They're probably 10 to 15 years behind in development, okay? Yes, there will be other competitive companies, but I'm telling you this, now is the time. You know, networkers, most networkers, they live their life to like be able to be involved with a company that's just about to do its legacy run. This is what they strive for, because that's when the biggest wealth will be created. So guys, now's the time to take action. We're there to help you and support you, and let's go.
Absolutely. Listen, new company, guys. Those of you that have been with us a while, this is brand new. I'm telling you, forget the past. This is a new WorldVentures, new corporate staff, new product approach. Finally, technical support that we need, payment solutions, and I believe they've reached that point where they're about to springboard to the next level. And I've said it before, but I'm going to say it now. This is inevitable. It's always been inevitable, because it's already survived the worst it could have done to itself. And now we're ready to move forward, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, and I forgot one thing. There is a new prospecting app coming, okay, which is the WorldVentures prospecting app. So there is, like, with Jefferson, we recently launched something called a rank up app.
I'm going to go, but Scott, phone call.
Yeah, you can, right? Yeah. So there is a rank up app that we spoke about in previous webinars, but the company WorldVentures is releasing a prospecting app very, very shortly, where again you can import your contacts and send links and that kind of stuff. It's not as sophisticated as the other one, but still they are doing that. And there's also going to be a back office app as well, which is again going to be great. It will notify people when they have new members on their team. You'll be able to track their progress, all that kind of stuff. So guys, thank you for being here. I know that it was very, very short notice, but yeah, now is the time for massive, 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 massive action, guys. So thank you very much. Just put in your comments as what you thought of today's webinar. Just give us your feedback, okay? And I will be, so I'm actually traveling back on Thursday. That's the reason why I wanted to do this update today, because it was very, very important. So I'll get the recording out to everyone as quickly as possible. Your job, guys, is to get that out to your teams and make sure people see this so they know what's happened and they get the updates. So with that, I'll say thank you very much from Sarasota, Florida. First time I've done a webinar from here, but I will see you very, very soon. Take care.